let me start with the first topic. So Hybr is our flagship product, like I said before. As the name suggests, it's a platform which helps you to manage hybrid cloud computing. Many of our customers, even Microsoft direct partners, they also have a data center where they run a vCenter or a SCVMM sort of IaaS infrastructure which they sell in along with services through CSP route or even through AWS or Azure or other public cloud providers. So our platform supports both public cloud and private cloud and CSP building and management and self-service. So that's the core of what we do here. For the purpose of this meeting, the topic is CSP. Focusing on the CSP area, our product helps Microsoft direct partners to do their customer management and provide self-service in the area of license management and few good features like managing the GDAP. It also provides a marketplace experience and a wide variety of options to give various pricing and customized pricing options for your audience. So that is what the product is about. When we talk about automation, we generally tend to think of the customer's life cycle or the service provider's life cycle, and we say, okay, so this is what we do in our day to day, and what is it that can get automated. But one big area that needs to be automated is that all of us are sitting on some large volumes of data, and all of the data is literally currency. We can gain a lot of value out of it, and more often than not, the tools, all of the tools which support this Microsoft CSP business, it operates on this data, but you only get to see a fraction of the value which that data can provide you. Hybr's USP is we we have a very powerful business intelligence dashboard and reporting functionality that makes all of the data available to you for building your own business insights. We call that as the BI intelligence and BI dashboards and reports feature as part of Hybr. So when we are talking about data, what is the data we are sitting on when we talk about CSP business? First would be the pricing sheets for various geography, for various services that you will be downloading from the partner center in older times. And more recently, we get them through the APIs, particularly with the introduction of NCA. A lot of these operations are partner center exposes these as API, and that is exactly what our tool capitalizes on. All the APIs that partner center provides us with, we utilize them and build a UI on it, build a API on it, and make that available for you and your customers. So all of the price sheets for all the services for all the geographies, that is one data. And what is your pricing strategy? What markups you put on top of that? What rates you sell which products to your customer? That is one data point. And there's the all-important Microsoft Recon file, which you get at the beginning of every month for the last month, which tells you what you pay Microsoft. Essentially, that is what you have to divvy up among all your customers with all your pricing calculations and so on. And combining the Recon file along with the price you want to sell, you get those invoice information also. All these are the core data which comprises the pricing and billing for CSP business, which will take a chunk of your time. In addition to this, there are also a lot of peripheral data that the partner center makes available, such as have all of your customers signed up with the Microsoft agreement? Is any of those agreement nearing expiry? Do you want to maybe send a reminder out to a person saying that, hey, you need to sign this up again? So all the data can be made available through our BI platform. Just put a short list of some of the insights which you will be able to get out of here, such as customer purchase patterns. You can see who your top customers are, and you can see what products they are purchasing, and you can see the trend of over a period of time, what product has increased and what is their buying pattern for your various offerings and so on. You can do the analysis on your product. You can see which product is giving you the most high margin. You can see which product is gaining or which product is trending, which product is going down. You can adjust your sales and pricing strategies accordingly. And based on all these trends, you can always extrapolate and figure out what comes next and align your business accordingly. Just putting a few charts here for your view. This is a top customer by revenue chart, which we have here, where you can see a list of all the CSP customers, which sorted by the revenue for the past month. And we have a sort of pie chart which tells you how much is in NCE, how much is the SaaS and other products, and so on. It gives you a split up, and each of these can be drilled on further and further to give you more and more information. All these are interactive dashboards. They are not like you just see it once and that's all the information you have. So a lot of data, a lot of dashboards, and all of these dashboards are customizable. You can see a small edit icon here. So you can go and edit, you can change the bar chart, you can say change the filter from 1 month to 3 months, you can modify the sorting, you can even completely, create a one new dashboard with just a table. And on top of it all, it's not just about having these visible for you. You can set up schedules. You can, let's say that this is a revenue comparison dashboard. You want to send this to your finance team on a month-on-month basis as soon as the Microsoft invoices are getting generated. We have a scheduling tool built in where you can say on 7th of every month, you email this dashboard to this particular DL, and they will be able to get that, and they will be able to validate that. In addition to this visual tools, we also have a lot of reports which are more like tabular format. You can email them as a CSV or an Excel or whatever. So all the data, customizable dashboards, power in your hands. So that's one of our USPs. I'll just pause for questions here. Do you think that these dashboards or this is a feature that would be helpful to you? Are there any specific dashboards or reports that you would like to have, or you wish that if you had that handy, if you had that insight handy, it would help you run your business? I can tell you whether that's possible or whether that's doable, and maybe even we will be able to quickly put one up and share it to you in an email so that you can see that it's possible. Okay, I'll move on to the pricing strategy. That was my next topic. So you are the CSP business. So how do you price your products? We talked about pricing sheets, which you get from the Microsoft API, and you can download it from the Partner Center also. That has this estimated retail price or the ERP. That is the market rate for each of those services. And the simplest pricing strategy would be to sell the products at the ERP. You will be paying the Microsoft a discounted price, and ERP is the market price. So it's essentially the recommended markup you get, but that is seldom used by any of the customers because usually there is always something different that they try to do. There are scenarios where they give a markup over the ERP and discount from the ERP also. Many of our customers, they sell services such as they manage that account for them and have a support team working along with the customer. They give a markup over the ERP for all of these services. That also includes their service as part of that. In some cases, let's say it's a new market where Microsoft does not have a lot of penetration, and rather they want to catch the market. They are a new operator and they want to catch the market. They give a discount from the ERP, but which would still be at a profit from what they are paying for Microsoft. But that sort of means margins will be a little bit thinner. But that is exactly where automation tools like Hybr come into picture, where you can save effort on what cost you put above what you pay for Microsoft for running this business. The more you automate, the more you can save and give a good price for your customer driving sales. So that's one of the pricing strategy. And you might want to give a larger discount for your larger customers, and based on the some of those products like say Copilot or Dynamics 365, you might want to price it at a different level when compared to the current uh, standard ERP rate based on the demand in the market and the sort of support services you sell along with that. And you might also want to be able to customize the prices at a SKU level, or rather that every line item you might want to be able to price those. So what automations do we provide here? First, we get all the price sheets, even for multiple geographies, directly from the partner center. We have this import view where you can just select the month and give a check this, and the price sheets get downloaded and it gets merged with the existing rate cards which are already part of the system. We give you an insight into what are all the things where the price has changed, so that you will have a visibility into what has changed from last month to this month. And basically, whatever you imported, let's say you have imported the NCE price sheet, that is going the very first time you do it, that is going to be your base rate card, based on which you're going to be able to sell your services for your customers. In the Hybr platform terminology, we call that as a pricing profile. So the pricing profile comes into picture, and on top of the base rate, all of the pricing strategies which we talked about, you will be able to apply. You'll be able to apply a blanket markup for that entire profile. You will be able to create multiple pricing profiles, keeping one as a base. It's a hierarchical sort of system, and you can give a different rate card for different customers. And there's a lot of fine tuning that you can do. There are customers, maybe for example, in the Europe region, who operate in multiple countries, each of who have a different price sheet and a different currency. And sometimes their bills are all in USD, so they might have to invoice the customers in their local currency. So there's this whole currency conversion logic that's built in here. And there could be scenarios where you want to price the first 100 units in a certain manner and the subsequent ones in a different price. You might want to give promo credits, and you might want to you give it as either as a percentage of the bill, or you might want to give like $100 promo to sort of launch or welcome a customer on board. All of those, there are so many pricing customizations that can be done on top of the pricing profile. I'm sharing a couple of screens which allow you to do that. You can even charge a one-time fee, which could be like a onboarding fee when you bring a customer on board. You can set a repetitive fee, which could be like a service charge, which you charge along with every invoice. Or you can add the tax, or you can choose to leave the tax component out on your invoice and allow some other component to pick it up and add it at a later stage. All of these customizations are possible with the Hybr billing CSP platform. So that is there. And the screens which I'm showing here, these allow you to modify it at a meter level. You can go into one particular SKU and just access LTAC. This price alone you want to change, or you'll still be able to do that. But that is also something that's not very common. What I'm showing here, a markup and discount based on a category, that is common. You might want to give a markup for all of the Dynamic 365 items alone in NCE. You will be able to do that. If you want to keep a different discount for all of the Copilot products, you will be able to do that. We have a tab called as Markup and Discounts, which lets you select the product category and apply a particular pricing for that category. That's a very valuable feature that a lot of our customers use on a daily basis. Do we have any questions here in this area?
Currently, we don't have any questions, Palani.
Okay. I'll move on. Thank you. We'll talk about customer onboarding next. when a new customer comes on board your system, or even there are certain things that you will be doing before you even onboard a customer. Hybr is a platform which you is a software solution which helps you with your CSP business. There will be roles. There will be an administrator who engages, who uses the Hybr platform. You will be having a sales team. You'll be having a finance team, and each of those people will have different roles in the CSP business. So basically, you might want to set up all of those user roles, and we have a very uh, robust RBAC control. Pretty much all of the web pages, we have over 50 or 60 pages. Each page, each control, who has access to it, who are your users, who are your admin users, and what category of users they are, what they will be able to access. All of that you can configure and set it up through the RBAC feature that we have. And once that is done, you as an administrator, you will be going and giving the Hybr platform consent to get data from the partner center. And once we have that, the first thing we'll be doing is we will be syncing all the CSP companies from the partner center along with the Hybr platform. We have this corresponding constructs. If there's a CSP company, we have a Hybr company. And we will map all of your CSP companies to Hybr companies. And that is where that is where we will start. So irrespective of whether you have been using some other tool to manage your CSP business or whether you have just started recently and some of these operations you're doing manually with Excel and so on, you can bring all of the information. Pretty much everything we need would be available in Partner Center, and we retrieve everything we need through the Partner Center APIs, provided we have the necessary access to those things. So that is what our platform will be doing for most parts. In many places where you might have to go to Partner Center and do an operation yourself, here we make use of the APIs provided by Partner Center. We make the functionalities available to the different set of roles for the administrator, for the finance, and all of the things that you can delegate to your own customers. We have a customer portal where they can do all of those operations themselves. So that's the core construct of our product. So here you see that the customers can get synced. Here you see the Hybr company list, which is the mirroring construct to what is there in Partner Center. Here you can see the list of subscriptions and some of the common operations, for example, which you do in the Partner Center. One would be the updating the customer agreement. Even when we were talking about the reporting the dashboard, I touched upon it. You can get that agreement signed from the customer from the tenant portal. And more recently, a lot of our customers needed assistance to automate the GDAP transition from DAP. Pretty much most of it is done already, but still, you will be able to configure what are all the roles you need from your customers for managing their solution. And Hybr will be able to email them on what it is needed. And once they will be able to give the taxes from the Hybr's tenant portal. And once the taxes is given, Hybr will enable the administrator to map those roles to the security groups from the Hybr portal, administration portal itself. So the entire GDAP lifecycle is one of the scenarios where you don't have to go to Partner Center and you don't have to do it all. It can be shared with your customer. The screen here is the RBAC screen, which I was talking about. Which screen should be visible for which user? You can see that here. So you have got all the customers on board. What do we do next? So essentially, once they come on board the platform, they are going to want to use all of the services which are available in the CSP world. So that is where our marketplace comes into picture, where they will be able to search, they'll be able to make the purchase, and they'll be able to deploy and see the status of the deployment, all of it in the tenant portal itself, without bothering to reach out the service provider and take more time from you. So all those self-service capabilities come here. Pretty much these are the type of products which you are going to be selling. There's going to be Azure reservation, there's going to be software, online services, pretty much all in NCE, but there could still be a few legacy that haven't been converted yet. I hope most of that should have been done by this time frame. It's March already. And there are the SaaS and other marketplace products which are also available. So we have this sort of e-commerce, Amazon-like a marketplace experience where you can search, you can filter by category, you see these tiles which give you a quick description of what are all the products that are there on offer. And you click one of those tiles, it opens up this purchase pop-up where you can select the quantity, the term duration. As per the NC, it can be a monthly or annual or triennial. You see the prices and you can align your end dates. This is again one of the NC features to bring co-terminosity. You can have all of your subscriptions aligned to single one common date so that it makes your invoices and financial simple. So there's support for co-terminosity also. You also have the ability to create Azure plan. And as an administrator, the administrator can enable their customers to see the Azure cost management and purchase Azure reservations from the Hybr admin portal. And if they have that enabled, each CSP company, they'll be able to create one Azure plan. And under that, they can create further Azure reservations and so on. And talking about Azure plans and reservation, I think one of the common problems that people face here is that when you come in the Microsoft Recon file, all of this comes as one line item. And this customer portal that we give, it gives them a breakdown of what exactly it is that the Azure consumption is, where did what go. It is done based on the entitlement ID. As part of the BI reports and dashboards feature that we talked about earlier, we give them a breakdown of all that information. So many things for which they could reach out to the service provider, we make it available in the customer portal. So this is the home page of the customer portal where they will be able to see what is their current cost, what is their estimated cost, what's their previous cost, what are their usages and so on. And on the right panel here, you can see one vertical bar with a list of things. This is a very nifty feature. Because even now, even when we talk about self-service, we actually have customers who still have to go and support we have service providers who have to go and support their customers with handling the some operation that they want to do. So this is essentially impersonation. You as a service provider, you have 50 customer, you can simply select this icon here on the top and you can see a list of all your customer and switch to their view. Then what you will be seeing will essentially be the same as what they will be seeing. That helps you to troubleshoot things much quicker and help your customer better. And I'll show you a few screens which help the customers to look at a lot of data and do some operations themselves. Here we are seeing the list of online services, both NC and legacy. We see here. Actually, this is the administrator's view of the online services. They have selected a tenant customer company. And these are the items under the subscription. That is why you're able to see what was the price in which you bought this item and what is the price in which the customer is buying. If it was the customer who had logged in, he will not see all of this cost per item, but they'll just be able to see what their price alone is. And they will be able to do all of those renewals. They will be able to change the auto renew option. If it is within the cancellation window, they'll be able to cancel. They'll be able to reduce the quantity. Even reduce the quantity is also applicable in the NC world within that cancellation window. So within the cancellation window, they'll be able to reduce the quantity and they will be able to manage the renewal. On renewal, what should be the quantity, what should be the upgrade, or what should be the term duration, all of that they'll be able to set. Again, all these items that need to be done in Partner Center by the service provider, these are things that the customers can do themselves. Some of the things that the customers can do themselves. They can see a list of all the licenses. They can assign those licenses to their user. They can see how much licenses are unutilized, what they paid for. They could have paid for 10, they could have utilized only 4, and 6 could be lying just idle. They can see it in this view, which is where they can go and drill down and see what's happening. And that is also that would be a very useful report for you as a service provider to send to your customer so that they will become loyal to you. You tell them, hey, you bought 10, you have used only 6, so you make sure that you use the rest. That is something you will be able to configure with the reports and dashboard feature that we have built, and you will be able to send it across. And you can in all of those emails and in the portal itself, you'll be able to add your branding. You'll be able to add your colors and you'll be able to customize it. It's a white label product. You can even send weekly mails of whatever data you think is relevant to your customers with your logo and everything. Our platform enables you to do that. And once all the purchases are done, the pricing and all the configurations are done by you, finally they'll be able to see the invoices also. Pretty much that's something they're going to be most interested in. They'll be able to see what their invoices and they can make the payment here. In case you want to have a integration with any payment gateway in your geography, you can have those payment gateways integrated. And when the payment is made, we will mark that invoice as paid. And there are customers who want to get those payment in cash also still. And in such cases, you will be able to give that role of who has access to mark invoice as paid, and we will be able to keep the logs of who marked this as paid and when it was marked as paid and all of those. And once you receive the payment, the administrator can go and mark that particular invoice as paid. So this is a very short run of what are the things that the self-service portal can do and what are the things that your customers will be able to do themselves. Hope that was useful. I'm going to dive into the final section of our webinar where we are going to talk about what are the factors to consider if you are going to scale. Uh, let's say from a few $100,000 to maybe like $1 million or even more or per month even. What are the factors you need to consider? Obviously, not a lot of things will be able to be done manually when you have a lot of customers and a lot of products. You need to look for ways in which you can automate as many workflows as possible. You need to find the right tools. You need to invest time in analyzing these tools and making sure that you spend time upfront to configure all those automations. And that tool should be something that should be able to scale. Hybr is a tool that can scale. For starters, you can just have the minimum value of a direct partner and doing the minimum numbers, and you could have a Hybr platform which is running on a minimal infrastructure. It's a SaaS platform. It usually runs on Azure App Services and Elastic Pool. That's our infrastructure. So basically, you will be able to scale it in a matter of minutes. Basically, you have 10 customers now. You get 50 customers the next month. The portal will be able to keep up to speed. Even if it's going to be a 5,000 customers, it will be able to be up to speed. So you should always build a set of support tools which help your business, which help you to automate, which can scale. And that means that you need to go for SaaS-based solutions. And Hybr is one good SaaS solution which can help you automate many parts of your business. Next thing to do is you need to build a hierarchy. It can be based on geography. It can be like if you are an operator who works with multiple countries or multiple states, each state can be one sales team or one internal organization in your company. And then it can be based on a product. One team could be more focused on selling Azure. The other team could be focusing more on Office and other such software. But when you have these sales teams and with the help of the RBAC and our sales team hierarchy feature in Hybr, where you will be able to build a hierarchy like this. You will be a service provider. You can have like some two sales teams under you. You can also be managing some of the customers directly under you. Each of these sales team will be getting their own administrator portal with all of the features which I described now. They will be able to see that, and their scope will be we talked about user impersonation and everything, right? They will be able to see their customers' data and their data alone. And you as a service provider, you will be able to see all of the data combined. So that is how the data itself is structured. In all of the features in the platform, there's a structure. You can have a hierarchy of people or teams, and each of them will have purview only to their customers and their teams. And the service provider or the admin who's at the top has visibility into how all of this data goes. This is one really good way to scale the business, which a lot of our customers use in their day to day. This is the mechanism that works. This is the reseller page, or the sales team can be called as reseller. And here is where you can add a reseller and you can map your own customers under these resellers, or even they can just go and add their own customers, bring their own customers, and so on. And like I told you, you probably need a lot of automation, and there are going to be many aspects of business. Starting from getting the leads to sales, where you'll be using a CRM system. To there could be other PSA systems where all your tax calculations and invoicing and whatnot goes into picture. Essentially, you are going to be relying on a most likely a business which is at scale or which is running at a large scale is going to be depending on a multiple tools such as ConnectWise. ConnectWise is one popular tool which a lot of our MSP customers are using, and there are other tools like FreshBooks which are used for CRM and so on. So all of these tools, you will have an umbrella of tools surrounding you if you are going to be scaling your business. And the billing platform or the billing automation comes in the middle of all that. There are scenarios where some other tools are going to be able to giving data into the billing system, and there are also going to be scenarios where the billing system is going to be giving data out to other systems. And Hybr has a very robust both inbound and outbound integrations built in. Uh, Pretty much every feature that you will be able to access using our UI or all the screens that I showed you, we have built it in such a way that all of those functionalities are available as API. And we have multiple production customers right now who make use of those APIs to access that functionality. They go and they have their sometimes they have their in-house tools, sometimes they have um, uh, integrations with other software like maybe SAP or ConnectWise, and we let the data flow into those software. So that is one way. But since the demand for integration has been increasing a lot, we have built a couple of first-class integration. One is with ConnectWise, which is a very popular and widely used PSA tool. You will be able to send your invoice line items against ConnectWise agreements, which you might be familiar with if you are using ConnectWise. And the other one is like one solution that covers a lot of scenarios, which is called as Zapier. Zapier is a platform which is connected to thousands of platforms that include many of the automation tools that MSPs and CSP businesses use in their day-to-day lives. There are a couple of ways in which these integrations happen. One is through a webhook, which is like an event happens within the billing software. It could be an event like invoice got finalized and approved, and you want to send that to your PSA system, or you wanted to send to your financial system. So if the event happens, if something has to happen, it's a webhook. The other route is a API, which is more like you make a call asking for the data, and the other system gives you back the data which you need. So in ConnectWise, there's this concept of a trigger and an event. So Hybr can either be a trigger or it can be an action. An example for when a Hybr would be a trigger will be one what I just described now. An invoice gets uploaded in Hybr, you can send it to your fresh desk. So it'll just be like a flow chart. You say if something happens in Hybr, you send an email to Zapier or you send this data into FreshBook. It's just something. It's a no-code platform. You just have to drag drop the boxes and configure what goes where, and it happens. The other way around. Let's say you create a company in your CRM system, and it comes back here, and you want to create a corresponding company in Hybr, and you want to map your CSP company against that company. it's a reverse integration is also supported. So this is a screenshot of this API with the trigger and action. This is a on an event in Hybr, an email gets sent out. This is the example that is shown here on invoice approval. These are some of our public APIs for billing. You can get the what is the invoice amount. You can get what is the you can add a customer to the API. There's so much that you can do through all of the APIs which are available here. So these are some of the ways in which you will be able to automate your business, CSP business, with the help of Hybr. This is all the prepared content I had for this meeting. Hope it was informative for you and it made good use of your time. We'll take some